those poems, they were written in these, in Telugu they call it Tatipa Gandralu, means in the palm leaves. I don't know what they call in Hindi. Tadpatra. Almost the same. Hi, good morning to everybody. मेरे को हिंदी में बात करने के लिए थोड़ा मुश्किल है. हैदराबादी हिंदी आता है, मेरे को थोड़ा थोड़ा हिंदी आता है और ट्राई करूँगा. गलत है तो माफ़ करिए. थैंक यू वेरी मच. मेरा नाम है विष्णु मंचू. आई एम मिस्टर मोहन बाबू's son and I'm proud of that. And if not for my father, I don't think I would have ever been an actor. So I'm grateful and I'm thankful to God. And if not for my father, I don't think Mr. Akshay also would have acted in my film. So thank you, Mr. Akshay. I will talk a little more later, but I think we are going to see the teaser now. In last year in Cannes Film Festival, we had shown our teaser, and after 2 weeks, we brought it out to the audience. In the same fashion, today, only for the Hindi media and for the select audience here, we are showcasing the teaser, which will be released by Akshay sir, and day after tomorrow, the whole world will be seeing. The only reason we are bringing it here to be, this teaser is launched by Akshay sir. And I know 2 weeks is too much of a gap. I would be slapped by everybody now in India. So we are launching the teaser today, and this is for you. I would request all of you not to record it now. At Q&A, of course, you can record. It's just a sincere request to all of you. Thank you very much. I'll talk to you again soon. Thanks.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. विष्णु सर के लिए एक बार जोरदार तालियां हो जाएं यहाँ पे. And of course, without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, तालियां हो जाएं, ladies and gentlemen, the actor and of course the screenplay writer and of course the producer. Sir, 10 साल की मेहनत. We are talking about devotion. We are talking about that faith. Tell me, आप इस समय इंडियन सिनेमा के सबसे बड़े डिवोटी बन गए हो सर. 10 साल इसको दिए हैं. What do you have to say on that?
मेरे जैसा मेरे से ज़्यादा डिवोटीज है इंडियन सिनेमा के लिए. One is there, right there, sitting there. See, ये स्टोरी पहले 2015 में मेरे को आइडिया आया. Someone else gave me the idea. And since then I've been traveling because to mount up a movie of this scale, at that time, my market wasn't big enough. And in 2022, January, we were looking at making another film, and even at that time, my market is not the scale of this movie. Definitely no. There's no shame in saying this Friday will definitely make my day. Wow. And when we started off with it, the whole idea was with my father. He was like, "You've been working on this film for quite some time. Go ahead, do it now." Maybe it's Lord Shiva's, made him say that. And then everything fell in place. And it's all Lord Shiva's blessing. Who am I? I just executed his order. That's all I feel like.
This journey just went on for a decade, sir. A lot of hard work has gone into it. कभी ऐसा हुआ कि doubt आया हो, sir? Like, devotion की बात हो रही है, but was there a moment where you thought that what have I gotten myself into?
Not even once. Faith can move mountains. And everything fell in place. All the people I wanted to act in the movie, and I made my effort, and every one of them, fell in place, and they've done it. And when you watch the movie, the journey in the last 2 years has changed me as a human being also. So, when you watch the movie, I hope I'll be able to tell what we have been dreaming about and trying to bring on to life.
You just talked about the people.
जब कास्टिंग की बात चल रही थी, तो जैसे इन्होंने कहा कि हमने जो चाहा वो मिला. जो पहला नाम इन्होंने शिव के लिए लिया था, शिव के कैरेक्टर के लिए, वो अक्षय जी का ही था. और उस समय शायद हम कांटेक्ट नहीं कर पाए या जैसे भी बात नहीं बन पाई, लेकिन अल्टीमेटली जो हमको शूटिंग करना था उससे थोड़े दिन पहले अक्षय जी ही इस किरदार में नजर आए.
So we have Akshay sir here. Mohanlal sir हैं, Prabhas sir इसमें हैं. Getting all of them together, it's like वो आप सारी शक्तियों को एक साथ लेके आ गए हैं. उसके ऊपर what do you have to say?
See, Mr. Akshay Kumar and well, we don't have a personal relationship per se. But now I'm thankful, I'm grateful for I've met him, a wonderful human being, and I'm sub junior to him as an actor. I have a lot to learn from him also. And when he walked into the set, there are a lot I learned also. I keep learning, and some people like Mr. Akshay Kumar, they inspire people by just being who they are. And today one of the biggest superstars in the country. As his junior, I have to learn what made him. There are many other actors who came along with him, but not every one of them are superstars. He sustained, he's like that. So, what made him like that is I believe it's only his discipline and his love for the craft. And that I have to learn. And all the people you see on the poster over here, let it be Mr. Mohan Babu or Mr. Mohanlal or Prabhas, they all have what others don't have is a undying spirit of never giving up. And that's what I learned. And everybody fell in place. And most of them in this movie acted because of the love and respect they had for my father. And I have to be grateful for Mr. Mohanlal, who's a legend on his own right. And Prabhas, my brother, he didn't even think twice. I had to he said, father came and asked me. I was scared why he was asking me, calling me. And then I said, you should have called me. Don't ask him to call, because dad has that kind of, persona back home. So I'm grateful for all of them. And even to Mr. Akshay Kumar, an actor of his stature, he doesn't need to come and do, the character, what he did. But for me, when I thought of Lord Shiva, it was him. And it wasn't easy getting him also. He rejected it twice. So, April 25th, आप लोग Kannappa देखेगा. And remember this, for this generation, anybody who thinks of Lord Shiva, I hope and I'm confident it will be Mr. Akshay Kumar's picture which will come into our minds. And that's the kind of devotion we kind of made the movie in. And that's what he portrayed.
विष्णु जी, राइटिंग के लेवल पे आपको कितनी डिफिकल्टी था?
Difficulty कुछ नहीं था क्योंकि I'll tell you where we started off from. See, this movie was I'm going to give a little brief history lesson, so I'm sorry it's going to take 3-4 minutes. See, Kannappa is not a known story for all the people here. I believe the story took place in the 2nd century. The first reference on Kannappa, Adiguru Shankaracharya, while writing the Shiva Purana, made a reference that an Adivasi offered meat to Lord Shiva. That was the first reference of Kannappa. And Kannappa's story was written from there. In Sri Salem, when the Sri Chakra is written, even today, when you go to one of the Jyotirlingas in Hyderabad, near Hyderabad, Sri Salem, it is written there. Long before that, the Vayulinga is there. That's the only linga which is, the base is in the shape of a spider, the sides are of elephant tusks, and on the top is a snake. This is a shape of Vayulinga. Kannappa is a devotee of Shiva in that area. And after 8th century, in the 14th century, one of the greatest kings of India, Sri Krishna Devaraya, in his kingdom, there was this very famous poet called Durjeti. Durjeti wrote poems on Sri Kalahasti Ishvara Mahatyam, which means all the miracles of Sri Kalahasti Ishvara, this temple where the Vayulinga is Sri Kalahasti. And those poems, they were written in these, in Telugu they call it Tatipa Gandralu, means in the palm leaves. I don't know what they call in Hindi. Tadpatra. Almost the same. They were lost, and then in the 18th century, there was this English collector called Mr. C.P. Brown, who collected all these and then translated them with scholars into English, and the book was published in 1895. And there are 5 books today which are still in preservation. One of them is in Bikaner Museum. Based on that book, in 1938, a silent film was made called Kannappa Nayanar. And then in 1953, one of the greatest Indian actors, legendary Dr. Rajkumar sir in Kannada, made his arangetram in films through this movie called Bedar Kannappa in Kannada. And he acted simultaneously in Telugu. In Telugu, it was called Srikalahasti Ishwara Mahatyam. The same production company from Chennai made the movie in Hindi called Shiva Bhakt in 1954. And then Bedar Kannappa was again remade in 1976 by legendary directors Mr. Bapu and Ramana with another great Telugu actor, Mr. Krishnam Raju, who happens to be the uncle of Prabhas. And then again, Mr. Rajkumar made that movie in Kannada in 1988, where he played the role of Lord Shiva, and his son, Shivaraj Kumar sir, played Kannappa. And then after 50 years, I believe in Telugu, when we first started, Lord Shiva gave me the permission to tell this generation the story of Kannappa. And when I was writing Kannappa, see, the last 30 minutes is the same. An atheist becomes God's devotee and God decides to test him. And it's a known legend that, the linga, blood starts coming from the linga, and Kannappa takes his eye out and gives it to Lord Shiva. This is a single pager. For me, it's a half pager. Now, who was Kannappa? What was he? Why was he an atheist? For me, it was an open canvas. For me, the canvas was large. And I'm a huge fan of Lord of the Rings. And I've read the books, watched the movies. I know the dialogues, scene by scene. So for me, I wanted to create my world. And I felt that this is what Kannappa was. This is who he was. This is why he was an atheist. And his love to Lord Shiva. Why is he in love with Lord Shiva towards the end? And why did Lord Shiva actually test him? And what was the relationship between the god and the devotee? And how pure should the devotion mean? See, one thing which I have common with Mr. Akshay Kumar and me is that our devotion to God knows no boundaries and no rituals. It's what we feel in the heart is what we do, is what God accepts.
Can you see me? Hi.
Yes, yeah, of course. You're very pretty. I cannot miss you.
Thank you. But the question that I have is that there is a report that you are planning to do a tour of Jyotirlingam with all the with all the Jyotirlingam across the country. Is that true? And also, I would like to know that after this film, because this film is looking really, really promising, and I'm sure that everybody's gonna go there to watch the film. After that, are you planning to explore the Hindi film industry as well? Thank you.
Thank you. The first question about the Jyotirlingas, I took up the Holy Trail, finished 5. The other 3, hopefully before April 25th, I get to finish the remaining 7 also. And right now, I think I am doing a Hindi film, Kannappa. So I think that answers the second question of yours. Thank you.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for...
Sorry, I'll just add to the point what Mr. Akshay said.
Please. 1 minute, sir. I'll...
See,
कविता जी खत्म नहीं हुआ जवाब दे रहे हैं और कुछ
so
दे रहे हैं। आप मोबाइल बंद ना करिए
when we came to know about the controversy, what that Mr. Akshay, what the song was a fantastic song. See, in the movie Kannappa, Kannappa hugs Lord Shiva's linga, and when you go to the temple, he offered meat to Lord Shiva, and towards there's a very big portrait in the temple. When you go into the town of Srikalahasti, you see that the foot of Kannappa on Lord Shiva. Okay, and he's taking the second out. But the reason why he puts the foot there is there. And the way he worships, the lyrical video of this movie is out. The way he worships Lord Shiva is he pours water in his mouth and he spits it out on Lord Shiva to clean it. As long as your heart is pure and your devotion is pure, the rituals are not necessary, is what the movie tells. And there's the same thing, when you look at it, I felt divine when he was hugging it. I felt connected. Markandeya, who's one of the Sapta Chiranjeevi, when his time was up and when the Yamadutas came to take him out, he went and hugged the Vayulinga. And when Lord Yamaraj came down to take him, he couldn't do it. He said, I don't have the power because he's hugging the Linga. So he's one of the Sapta Chiranjeevi. When you go back to history, when you do that, it's, all these do not really matter. These, if you want, with due respect to the priest association, I don't know, them very personally, but the way we worship is that very pure. And even in this movie, when I wrote the characters of Lord Shiva and Parvati, the way I wrote it is, how did I, as a kid, see my mom and dad, in their 30s, late 30s, early 40s? How were they? Were they cute? For me, the banter between the mother and father was always cute. And that's how I look at Lord Shiva and Parvati. And that's the banter I be put in the movie also. And like he said, as long as we take them purely as a mother and father, I think there's no mistake in the way we worship them.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.